Today's journey begins at 8:19 in the morning on Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. I'm trading the micros of the NASDAQ. You can see I took my trade one right here. I entered in right here at 18,314 at 8:19 in the morning. You can follow along with me if you don't believe this is real trading and real data. I'm running an experiment. I just blindly buy with one micro and I'm running a test. Why am I doing that?
What is going down? Hey.
Okay, here's the day charts. We see the moving averages moving up, the 20 and the 50 EMA. It's pulled back to the caution zone. It's looking like there's a possibility that it's going to keep bullish. However, it could continue down for a little while. As long as the market is bullish on the daily chart, I'm going to look for bounces. Okay, even if it pulls back to the 50 or even tries to penetrate the 50, I'm going to look for bounces, okay? Because it's a daily bullish market. It's the strategy that you might have a hard time with, and I'm developing over time. I like to enter in and test whether I can manage the position without exceeding the daily drawdown threshold for the 50K prop firm challenge. Real quickly, in case you're new, I'm going for the 50K full prop firm challenge at Apex, but first I got to make back a little bit of money in my demo account. All right, it's at a support level, and I wanted it to do a liquidity sweep. It already swept that area right here, however. So it's sweeping low, it's sweeping high. Kind of gives us an indication that it's going to stay in a range. It could go down and lower. What I did was I bought another one on the trendline break. It's not a very good looking trendline break on the 2000 tick chart. So what I'll do this time, instead of making the same mistake I made yesterday, is when an ad doesn't go in my favor, I'll get out of that ad. Instead of holding that ad like I did yesterday, and by the way, yesterday we did profit. We didn't blow the account. We made $400. I made a lot of mistakes. I don't plan on repeating those mistakes today. On the 10,000 tick chart top left, you can see there's plenty of room for it to continue to drop down to the next support level. So if this area doesn't work on this trend line break, then I'm just going to get out of the one that I added. I don't have to hold two. What I do want to do and experiment with is not closing the trade, however. I want to get out of just the one, sell stop right there, and I'll be happy to hold the one that I entered in up here so I can keep the trade open. The idea is to test whether or not I can manage my position scaling and not blow the account and end the day with a profit. Keep in mind, I don't plan on trading this way forever. This is an experimental phase to see whether or not I can go to the prop firm and actually jump in there and pass that thing. If I can't do it on my demo account, there's no sense in me going and paying a monthly fee. I need to take this serious, work out my strategy, figure it out before I go over. And I plan on trading with more reliable and better strategies in the future, not just blindly buying at some random area and then seeing if I can keep the account from being blown. I'm not going to do that forever. I'm just doing that temporarily while I'm preparing for the prop firm challenge. Okay, first trades of the day are very important. If I can get out of this where I'm supposed to, this ad, that means I'm on the right track today. Of course, I don't want it to stop me out, but at the same time, I need this test so I don't repeat what I did yesterday. I want to be able to get out of my ads if it doesn't go in my favor. Plus, I missed taking profits up top here. I almost did it, and I should have, and that was a mistake.
Order filled.
But it would have been a bigger mistake not to get out of this right here when it's breaking below. So yes, it looks like I'm on the right track. If I add to my position and it goes against me, get out of that part. Even if it goes back up, we did notice that it could do a liquidity sweep here and then go up. That's true. That's true. I could have also waited to buy or add when it gets lower. So this could have been an adjustment as well, right? I didn't have to add above this pivot. I could have had my ad waiting right here at the bottom or even a little bit lower. And so let's take note of that as well. But the important thing is when I add to the position to lower my average price, I have to make sure that if that ad does not go in my favor, that I don't continue to hold the ad, that I get out. And that's exactly what we did right here. So I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. Okay, it happened so quickly I didn't get a chance to record it, but it looked like it was just penetrating that liquidity, which is what I said I was looking for. And as soon as it started to turn green, I added again right where I got out. Let's see, I added right here. Let me make sure you understand. I added right here, and it went up real quickly, and I sold right up here. Okay, so that kind of made back what I lost on this ad right here. Let me recap what I did wrong. I think I just added too early. I saw the liquidity level that it could have swept, and I even said it in the video. I said it's probably going to go down here and sweep. So why did I add up here? Good question. That was a mistake. Noticing that that's exactly what it did. We saw it turning green after it went penetrating back up into that range. I bought, quickly scalping, got a little profit on that move right there. Okay, so that's where we're at so far on today's trade. If you remember yesterday's adventure on the 10,000 tick chart, this is where I started adding way up here. And I kept adding and almost blew the account $2,300 when you're only allowed $2,500 on the Apex 50K challenge. Very close call. Managed to make it all back, plus $400, ended positively for the day. I don't want to repeat that same mistake today. Very good learning lesson yesterday. And this is exactly why I'm doing these almost radical tests, to find out, the limits of my skills and how far I can push this demo account and where I can tighten up on some of those mistakes. All right, so that's what I'm doing today. All right, let's take a look at where we left off at here. I think I left off with this quick scalp after we got stopped out. That's happened to me again. I did a trend line break, got stopped out there. And over here again, I said, trend line break, this little tiny trend line break right here, got stopped out, and then it broke a better trend line for me, and I got long and I scalped out, and that was the same thing. Lost on the first one, won on the second one, just like over here. Lost on the first one, won on the second one. So we're in this one contract still that we added at the top, but our average price is all the way down here now instead of all the way at the top. But we're still behind. We're behind a little bit here, so we really need this thing to move up or come down and create a range where we can do a lot of really positive scalping. That's what I like to do. I love trading in the range. Let's see what it does. We want to take a note on the video here after looking at the hourly chart. However, when I first entered that position, price was trying to push up over the 20 EMA, and then it reversed, turned red, and started crashing down. So again, in the future, when I'm taking more, well thought out and strategic trades instead of just jumping in blindly, running a wild test here, I probably wouldn't be entering in some of these trades. All right, so just stick with me, and let's get past this prop firm challenge stuff, and we'll be taking, some well thought out and well planned trades in the future. All right, this is interesting. Getting a nice spike on the news. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and try to get out of this position so I can enter it, close it with a profit, and just reassess the situation here. Get me out for a profit.
Order filled.
All right, I'm gonna take it because it's experimental. I made a profit on this entire move today. Fortunately, the news that came out was really good. Now, the only thing that could be a mistake is if it just keeps on going up and I could have held it for longer. I'm hoping that it pulls back. Okay, after checking out the momentum and the liquidity sweep at the top, it looked like it just wanted to keep right on going, so I got back in. I did a quick scalp, and then I realized, you know what, this is probably going to keep going, so I got back in. All right, so I'm still learning. I'm still a little nervous about this. I want to take the profits when they come, but I don't want to miss a big move. However, this impulsive wave up would indicate that it's probably going to not drop much lower than this today. Of course, anything can happen. I've seen impulsive moves like this get completely engulfed and taken out by a down move. But I do have more confidence that now today is probably going to be a little bit easier to assess where the bottom might be. Here's the daily chart again, right here, and it looks like it might want to go up. So I'm going to be with that kind of bias for now, and we're going to try to hold this trade as long as it'll go up. I might even just try to stick it on break even and see if it'll keep going, or if it hits a certain target. Let me see, what could it possibly hit? It's got a long ways to go up, guys, for this liquidity sweep up here. So that's good news. It's got a long ways to go up. So hopefully I can hold this for a big move up, or if it does pull back, I can add to my position down here in the Fibonacci areas, looking for some fair value gaps on the 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart to enter into. maybe a Fibonacci pullback here, and try to build a position, but if it keeps going up, I'm not going to be able to build a position if it just shoots straight up. I can, trail it candle by candle, and do it that way, or we can just take profits a little bit at a time, and I really don't know how I'm going to play it. I'm just glad it's going in our favor. I'll keep you posted. Okay, we're going to try a trend line break right here. Looks like it wants to keep on going. We'll see. At this point, I'm not sure if I need to get out of this. It's only 2 micros. If it fails, I have this encouragement from this move up here that I didn't have before when I entered in those trend line breaks, where I needed to get out immediately, right? So this time we have a little bit more of a reason why we could probably hold it, right? So I'm thinking, what's the necessity of trying to get out so quickly for?
Order filled.
I'll just take a little profit when it goes up, be happy with that. So that ad we did profit on a little bit. I'm still holding 1, which is a good thing. I always want to be holding 1 because this thing could go up for days, right? And if we happen to keep multiple 100-point move on 1 micro, that's still that's a good move, all right? Even on 1 micro. So that's what I'm looking for. What I'm trying to do is, kind of build a position and let it ride up. It's a tricky, very tricky thing to do though, but I'll let you know what happens. Okay, I took another profit target. I closed trade 3 right there, all right? And it could keep going. Like I said, I'm learning with you guys. I got a lot to learn. I'm going to try to get back in it, but I really want to pull back. All right, it looks like I'm going to take my chances that this thing is going to make a run for the top here. I got back in trade 4, kind of where I got out of trade 3, and I'm just going to go with my strategy of building as we go here, building as we go. I keep telling the chat that I should have just stayed in the trade, but whenever it has a nice little move like that, I just want to take the profits, and hope that it pulls back. So we got out of the 4th trade right here. I got out of the 3rd trade, got right back in. So really, if I got back in the same place I got out. So this trend line breakdown here, I think I added right here or something, or I got right back in right here. And so this whole move was a good move. Thing is, it could keep going. This is one of my first times catching a big move like this big. I think it's one of the first times. So I gotta get better at it. I gotta get more experience with it. But so far, so good. Right now we're up $167, and I could just stop right now, but I have a feeling we're gonna do a lot better today, Lord. I'm gonna go on a limb and say what I'm thinking about this day. Anything can happen. I might be wrong, but it looks like we can reliably trust this to kind of stay bullish. However, it could end up like one of these doji days right here. I think it's even less likely that it'll come down and crash and go all the way down and be a reversal red day down to the 50 EMA. I think that's the less likely scenario. Probably more likely that it'll stay bullish since we're in a daily bullish trend. Then the probability probably goes to where it could end up just kind of being one of these weak bullish candles, or even a doji candle coming back down and even closing slightly red. I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, we should have some areas in that range type of mode to where we can really do some good scalping, and that's good for me because I like to scalp in a range. You can see why it's slowing down a little bit right here, okay? You see right here, that level that it's coming up to, it's hitting right into that. It wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't get stuck here, and the way the market's been trading, it could considerably come down crashing for all we know. Also, it's a place where it could consolidate and push up through that resistance area. But this could be as high as it gets today. Okay, one of my weaknesses is getting out and not holding, so I'm just taking profits where I can right there. And then I start trading, in this, what I'm thinking is going to be a range. I did a couple of trades right here and it worked out pretty good. 5, scalped out for 5 right here, and scalped out for 2 right here. And then I didn't realize it, but it's not lunchtime yet. So this is the sell-off before lunch. So I'm adding on the way down, which is very risky if I'm not sure that the day is going to be a bullish day. Again, let's look at the day chart and see what could happen. Remember, we were talking about it potentially coming back down and becoming a doji candle, maybe even turning red, so we don't want to get caught in a bearish reversal candle day. That would be disastrous and difficult to trade your way out to profitability. I'm just hoping that it pulls back within reason. Here's a fair value gap on the 10,000 tick chart right in that consolidation area as it broke out over the 200. That's a decent 50% pullback area. I'd like to see it not get any lower than that. So I'm in a position of 3 micros, and I don't think I'm going to keep adding here on the way down like I did yesterday. So I'll just hold the 3 that I got, let it figure out what it's going to do here. Hopefully it'll get in a range on the lunch hour and I can scalp some. Okay, I was bamboozled today. I gave back all my profits because I don't know, I just didn't play this top part right. I don't think I'm going to be trading in a range when something's that high up, all right? And I need to wait until lunch already happens, not before lunch. This is the before lunch sell-off, and then we have some news that's chopping around here. So instead of losing all my profits and then going red if something happens, I decided to close my position for just barely a little bit of profit after commissions $9. It sucks, but at the same time, there's going to be days when we just can't read the market properly. I'm okay with that. What I won't be okay with is if I have a big loss after being up as much as I was, $250 or whatever. I may get into some more trades. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but I just wanted to close my position and maybe reassess the situation and possibly get in again, do some more scalping. Okay. I got my bearings back, my thinking back in line. It was an emotional rush, seeing all that go down to zero and not knowing what's going to happen. Clear the deck. All right. Very good. It was a very good thing for me to just be able, first of all, to close my position instead of gambling, hoping that I can make it back. It doesn't matter if it actually does go up here and, I should have held that. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is how do we handle emotions and insecurities and losing everything that we made. I actually am grateful that I actually closed my position, because for me in the past, I would have probably done something stupid and tried to do, an outrageous move here. And technically, after thinking this through right here, now I'm able to okay, I'm going to start building my position again down here, or I'll just let this 1 micro run back up. I may not make as much as I had, but I think it was a good transition from this unexpected move here to a calmer state of mind. Okay, so I think it's very important to realize there's going to be times when the market shakes you out. And because of yesterday, I had such a struggle, almost blew the account. This is a demo account, but if I had the real prop firma challenge, it would have been very close to blowing. And after that, I learned a lot. And one thing I learned is when you have so many contracts, be careful about holding it in keeping it as it drops. So I wanted to not make that same mistake today. So anyway, I think we're going to end up positive in the green today, but maybe I won't make as much as I had already. So we'll see. All right. Hopefully these 2 contracts will go all the way back and test that high up there. We can make back a lot of what we lost. I think we were up to $250 and we lost it. I actually closed with a couple of dollars profit, which is what I intended to do. Nothing like losing everything green and going red. Oh, that's a terrible thing for us day traders. So, oh man, I just saw this. What a mess. Now I'm negative for the day. Look at this roller coaster ride, man. What a trip. Golly, I better get out of this while I'm ahead, man.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm gonna close my position. I gotta rethink now again. Wow. I gotta say, I have not seen that, and if I have, it's not very often. So let me just recap what we did here, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna get back in because I got to clear my mind again, just like before where I closed this trade down here. when I lost everything except for a couple bucks, I had to rethink. Got back in here. I added right here. Things were going on good. And then I went to the kitchen and I came back and it was down $123. So I just got back in the green right here. And be honest with you, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to trade right now. I got to get my mind back in gear. You can see we're barely after commissions. We barely have $23. So maybe I'll get some guts here and play the range if it's going to do a range. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. This market, look how it's moving. I mean, I like ranges, but that's a tight range. I don't like a range that I can barely do anything with. So I did some scalping right here. And last I recorded in this area, in this tight little range, the best I could. And I'm just frustrated with today a little bit, losing all those profits on the way down. But we are in profit territory, thank goodness. What are we at here? About $44, but I was up to 250, but that's okay. All right. The worst thing that we can ever have happen is be green and give it all back and go red and blow the account. So as long as we're making profits every day, and so far so good every day, little by little, we're going to get to that goal and then start our prop firm challenge and hopefully pass that, Lord willing. We'll see you on the next video.